tap.
No kick.
It's Westbrook. Gets a look. Can't hit. To Wall. Yes. It drops. Little drama on that one. To Anthony. Adams. Lets it fly from long range. Can't connect. Parker to Wall. Oh, George with a piece.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Stuffs it down with authority. Jay mix. Opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the greatest isolation players of all time. Back in his Denver days, his earlier New York Knicks days, there was nobody better in an isolated set than CA.
George to Westbrook. Almost, and he's not getting the call.
And physicality is your friend. Don't let these guys get any easy ones down low. Make them look at the refs, wondering where the foul was every time.
Wall with it up top. He'll run the offense. Steven Adams with the block. To Anthony. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go.
Because he had no body control. You have to be able to control your body when you attack the rim at full speed. That's part of your concentration. People assume concentration just on the rim, but your body control is everything. Be able to speed yourself up or slow yourself down.
And draws the foul.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
First one goes down. Goes 2 for 2.
Get it, shoot it again. I like that one.
Wall picked up by Robertson. Can't connect. To Westbrook. Paul George, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
Wizards with the basketball. Wall picked up by Westbrook. And he's fouled. A couple of free throws coming up, Jay.
Hey, look, sometimes you need to feel out your opponent. Let him know you're there. I'm okay with that early foul.
John Wall has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 78% at the line. Misses the first. Oh, he missed them both. Tough shot and nearly a chance at a 3-point play. No foul.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them...
Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. Beal. Wall There it is, John Wall. 2-4 now. What do you see in John Wall's game, Jay, that sets him apart?
That he could probably finish with his left hand better than he could finish with his right. I remember watching him in high school. He was jumping off his right foot and dunking the ball lefty as if it was that easy. He can do it with both hands, which makes him way more efficient around the rim.
Got it.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Oklahoma City ball all-star. And scores. Strong take.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next-level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Oh, Russell Westbrook. First couple didn't go. That one is true.
I like that aggression early. You never just settle for jumpers. You attack, you attack, you attack. Then when they back off, you'll have room to shoot that, Jay.
Wall knocks it down from mid-range.
Can we all just agree that that handle is next level, but that jumper's wet too?
It's PG for 2. Spins and scores. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Now pass taken away by the Thunder. The pass set it all up.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Nerlens Noel able to recover with the block. For 3.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
On the follow. Way to stay with it.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
It's Washington with the basketball. Great looking vision. Nerlens Noel sends it away. Nerlens Noel sends it away. Knocked loose. Picked up by the Thunder. Count the basket inside.
That's a good run right here to end the first quarter to open up that lead. If you're the coach of this team, you have to like the effort your guys are giving.
Into the front court. It's Wall. Down 12. Off the mark.
Woo, I like that intensity on that play. That's how you actually dig in the dirt and do your job on the defensive end.
Straight on 3. At the buzzer. First quarter's complete. And a nice cushion for the Thunder. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Wall into the front court. Down a dozen. Nerlens Noel pins it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is going to get a chance at 3 here. For his career, 82%. First free throw is good. Knocks down the second free throw. 3 for 3. Nice. To Wall. Wide open look, won't go. To Schroeder. And he buries it.
Here's a tip for your defense. You can't give him that much space. You have to push up into his personal space and make him play the majority of the possessions with his back to the basket. Because if you allow him to open up, there's no stopping.
Wizards at the controls. Wall guarded by Schroeder. There it is, John Wall. 4 out of 7.
Okay, that time it was effective. But a really good defender will put that in their memory bank.
George, defended by Green. Can't connect from in close.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
And the basket good at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
That's off the side of the rim, short.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Paul George. Going to launch, beyond the arc. That's good D. Shot no good. Jeff Green, guarded by Nerlens Noel. Gets it to go. Could have been more. A lot of contact, but no foul.
And whether you're moving north or south or east or west, you got to be able to keep pace with the ball carrier and most importantly, stay in his chest. That's on the defender. It's way too early to be fatigued.
He shoots. Oh, off the mark. Give him 2 points. High percentage.
I'm a little bit confused. Was that a well-designed offense or just poor defense? Maybe a little bit of both.
Paul George. George, 4-2. Paul George. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
So deadly. Now look, part of that is God-given talent. But the other part is that ball speed combined with that handle. Oh, that's off the charts. But he always finds a way to slow himself down right before he goes into that. Shot.
Thunder with the basketball to Schroeder. Fires the 3. That's off the side of the rim. No good. To Beal.
2 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Slam dunk.
And no emotion, just that ice-cold stare. That's a sign of somebody who's here to compete.
George matched up with Beal. To Schroeder. Wizards have the rebound. And scores.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Had a good look there, but it's no good. Great pass to set it up. A big finish at the rim.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something. Get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Count the bucket for 2.
The pass was really good, but what I love most about the play, Ed, was that every player that ran in transition had active hands, which means they were active targets. They provided a target for the player to deliver the pass. That's how you work together as teammates.
Russell Westbrook with the rock. From long range. Not going down here. Beal against the elite defender Robertson. From the painted area, won't go down. To George. Has a look. No good. No daylight. Great defense.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
To Anthony. Fires the three. Won't go down. Rebound taken by Portis. Wall across the timeline. Down three. Paul George snatching it out of the air. Paul George swats it. And that's going to be out of bounds off of George. Beal. Oh, good defense there. Thunder with the steal. Count it.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
That'll do it for the first half. The Thunder with the lead.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose. The Thunder fell.
Tight game through the first two quarters as we resume play here in the third. Into the front court comes Wall. The deficit now up to 5. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Westbrook with the basketball. He'll run the offense. Oh, Russell Westbrook. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
It can only be one of two things here. One, the defender ran out of gas. Or two, this dude is just unstoppable.
Beal. Wall picked up by Westbrook. Out of bounds. Last touch by Russell Westbrook. So the Wizards keep the possession. Beal. And look out. Big finish at the rim. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters. But when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Gets a look. Can't hit. Oh, you're a fan. You love the will and the want. The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Russell Westbrook against the former #1 pick, Anthony. Carmelo Anthony. He's going to get 3 shots here. He's perfect from the line so far. Oops, he missed the first one. That one won't go. One more to come. And he goes 1 for 3 on this trip to the line. Wall with it up top. His group now down 2. Jabari Parker rocking the rim.
What a pass. I have no clue how that ball even made it through the traffic.
George, message received. Well defended. John Wall tips it. That's out of bounds. Wall the last to touch. Westbrook. Jumper's good.
The assist from number 21, Andre Roberson.
Beal. To Parker. Andre Roberson. Huge block.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
Oh, he had it. To Paul George. Strong finish for Paul George.
How about right after the dunk, he looks right over towards the bench, gets a call from the coach about what defense they're in, and then gets his team set. Those are people that are able to lead men.
Knocked loose. Wall against the former MVP. To Anthony. Westbrook. Shot by Robertson off the mark.
Oh, I see how you're playing this chess match. That's what you keep doing defensively. Keep baiting him and luring him into shooting that jump shot. Exploit him.
It's Wall. Add 2 points to the board.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Screen coming. Stuffs it down with authority.
Just a ball-handling wizard, still putting people under his spell.
Parker. That's off the side of the rim, short. Curling inside to Westbrook. Beyond the arc for three. Cleans it up. George. For three. It was contested, but Paul George still dials in for three.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
Now the Wizards going to take the timeout as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. New blood coming in for both sides. Wall against Westbrook. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
And Ed, here's my offensive theory. More touches, more points. This is a fast-paced league. Either the coaches adapt or you'll be left behind.
George picked up by Ariza. Here comes the screen. George buries the three. He's too good to leave that open.
I know the refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
He throws it down. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
Oh, Russell Westbrook. He's 5 for 10, shooting 50%.
Why not? Russell Westbrook is the only guy stopping Russell Westbrook. And when he decides to put his head down and go to the rim, he's going to the rim. It's that easy.
And throws it down.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Russell Westbrook up against John Wall. To George. Westbrook buries it on the catch and shoot.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
3 quarters down. Thunder with the lead. The Thunder have it to start the fourth quarter. They had the lead coming out of halftime. They were able to extend that lead in the third quarter.
A lot of fans and players get consumed with the big plays, but the coaches love seeing their teams continuing to do the little things. That's how you increase the lead.
Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. The Thunder have it to start the fourth quarter. They have clearly been the better side so far. Jay, that's reflected on the scoreboard.
Well, the cardinal rule in the game of sport is whenever you go into the fourth quarter, it's 0-0. You have to play the game with the scoreboard saying 0-0. And if you can win that game by double digits, then you've done your job in the fourth.
And Carmelo Anthony, zero hesitation as he knocks down the three.
And here's the setup, Ed, down the stretch. From a player who's been in these type of positions, eventually I'm going to hit you with a head fake, and you're going to have to jump considering I just made the last couple of threes. And that's when I find an easy way to get to the rim or force the defense to collapse to kick out for, guess what, another one.
Parker. Great feed. Sets it up. That's no good. Anthony to Westbrook. Count the basket at the rim.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Free throw perfect for Westbrook, and the Thunder add on to their lead. Into the front court, it's Wall. His guys down big. Knocked loose. Thunder have it.
Ooh, I think people are leaving already.
Stuffs it down with authority.
You know, teams usually shoot higher percentages early in the shot clock. Plus, you take away the legs of the defense. You have to dictate the pace.
Wizards have it. Wall guarded by Russell Westbrook. It's good.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Westbrook into the front court. His guys holding the big lead. Leaves his man in the dust and finishes at the rim.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Knocked loose. Beal picked up by Robertson. Parker. He gets it.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Here's a chance from long range. Parker grabs the rebound. To Beal. Throws it down.
I think the defender had absolutely 0 chance on that play.
Russ at the controls. To Paul George. Stuffs it down with authority.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ballgame.
The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Wall into the front court. Down a bundle. Beal.
That'll be a winning formula in overtime every time. Answer a 2 on one end with a 3 on the other. Ed, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a 3 is more than a 2, correct?
That is great math, my friend. Russell Westbrook, defended by Wall. Working it outside. Anthony. Rebound taken by Wall. Has a chance. He's too good to leave that wide open. Defense has to communicate.
These breakdowns happen because the team lacks communication. You have to point towards your man, keep that butt towards the baseline, and make sure you communicate through every screen.
To Wall.
Here we go.
Westbrook with it. They lead it by 14. George up against John Wall. Lets it fly from beyond the arc, and he stays cold from deep as he misses another one. It's no good. Parker with it. Looking to make something happen. To Beal. Andre Robertson rejects it.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
No good. And finishes strong. Jay, that's been the story this evening.
I mean, another one? Another dunk? Another easy possession? I mean, how demoralizing can this be for the team? Why am I the only one yelling? I don't see anybody on the bench yelling. I don't see anybody on the court even angry right now.
From the outside, no good. To Westbrook. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Screen coming. George lets it fly. The screen sets him up for 2.
Bread and butter, and there are few that can do it better off the screen.
Knocked loose. Picked up by the Thunder. Good victory here for the Thunder as they cruise to win a game that was never really in doubt. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Taylor Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up.